going down around here, isn't it? It is. It's either a heat index of 100 or we get overnight lows in the 40s.
Yep.
Coming up this hour, we'll talk with Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio. Also, Tanya J. Powers this morning on the World Cup final, setting a new television record. Megan Frazier from the Children's Museum in Utica. And then we'll talk to Sienna and Travis Broadbeck as well, coming up later this morning. A couple of things in the news this morning. The Utica Council last night meeting discussing the 5-year requirement for the first 5 years for a City of Utica police officer to have to live in the city limits, as they're trying to find some relief in recruiting new officers to the department.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough slog for these guys. It's hard enough for them to hang on to good talent. I mean, you've always got the state police and whatever it is, grabbing everybody that they can get. So I certainly understand why they need to do this. I actually know a police officer who actually worked in, the counter to this in regards to sometimes dealing with stuff is, they'll say, we want to have police officers that, live within the communities with which they police. And I get it. On the other hand, I did know a police officer who worked in the inner city and said, it is very difficult for me. And he was a person of color, actually, and said, it's very difficult for me to go in and be a police officer in regards to it in the inner city when, a lot of people that I've known and I've grown up with or whatever it is, suddenly you're, putting the cuffs on and things like that. He said it's very difficult.
And you live right down the road, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're not sometimes not so friendly. So, I see both sides in regards to it. But, boy, we're going to lose a lot of officers pretty soon that have 20, 25 years experience. And you better backfill pretty darn quickly.
Yeah, it does create, I don't know if you want to say an educational gap, but, and it's certainly an experience gap is probably a better way to describe it. Is that Jonathan Savage, Smitty? From Fox News Radio. We'll go quickly. We'll come back and talk more about this. Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio. Some thieves reopening or trying to reopen. Jonathan, what's the story this morning?
Yeah, the Louvre Museum in Paris, which last October was the scene of an extraordinary heist from thieves. They stole $100 million worth of French crown jewels. Well, the gallery which the thieves targeted has now reopened after that audacious daylight theft. But a few things have changed. None of the jewels are there, not just the ones that were stolen, but the rest of them have been moved out of that gallery too, permanently, as part of a major overhaul of security. Instead, visitors will get the chance to see the Apollo Gallery's gilded ceilings, painted and decoration commissioned by Louis XIV, who is known as the Sun King. So the cases where the crown jewels have disappeared and security is going to get beefed up.
Can you remind us of the theft? It sounds like a movie plot type situation.
Yeah, it just took less than 8 minutes for thieves to use a truck-mounted lifting platform to reach a second-floor window at the Louvre, the most visited museum in the world, cut through glass with angle grinders, and then escape on scooters, all while the museum was open. Visitors on the premises. The jewels remain missing, apart from one crown, the crown of Empress Eugenie, that was found damaged near the museum after the robbery. It is being restored, but the rest of the $100 million loot has never been recovered. There are individuals who have been charged over this. 4 men have been charged with carrying out the burglary. A 5th person faces charges of complicity.
Those who have been charged, are they tied to the gallery? Was this an inside job?
No, this was not considered to be an inside job. They were found living quite nearby in the northern suburbs of France. and they were considered to be. Initially, it was thought that the thieves were professionals, that it was a high tech hit job, but it seemed that they were a bit more opportunistic than that. Of course, we're still waiting for the trial to be carried out, and only then will we hear the full evidence and the full story of what happened, and the people who are accused will find out if they're innocent or guilty. But no, it was not considered an inside job, although the Louvre did have some major security failings.
Yeah, obviously. And, sticking with the movie plot, and maybe this is too much of my imagination, I would just assume that what's on display is replica, right? And the real stuff is in a safe somewhere at a different location, right? Isn't that how it plays out in the movies? The thief stole it.
Maybe that's how it played out in the movies. Maybe that's how it should play out. But no, that's not how things are in the Louvre. The Louvre also, of course, is the home of possibly the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa. As part of the security surrounding this, part of the security updates that they're going to bring in, there's going to be a whole dedicated gallery for the Mona Lisa.
All right. So it opens today. I would imagine they've taken care of some of the security issues that were identified from this situation and have made corrective action. Yeah,
the outdated surveillance system has been expanded. There are more CCTV cameras. One of the problems on the day of the heist was that one of the key cameras outside the window the robbers broke through was pointing the wrong way. So they had some fairly simple things to fix. They've put in additional sensors and alarms. The window is now covered by metal bars and reinforced glazing. But there's going to be an €800 million Renaissance project over the next 5 years that is going to completely modernize the security infrastructure.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe they should, when they do that at the same time, they can take care of the air conditioning system.
Maybe they could do that for the whole of Europe while they're at it.
There you go.
Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, right. It seems like in the movies.
Yeah.
There's one that comes to mind in particular, but a lot of times the thief seems to have gotten away with the loot.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's always a double cross, and it's not the real loot. Yeah, it's the backup loot or something like that.
And they think
wild story.
I guess they think what happened was, all the crowns and rings or whatever it is, that all this stuff basically has been melted down, and then they'll sell the jewels or whatever it is on into the black market, or somebody. You end up with these wild collectors of people that have this stuff that collect only for themselves and have these galleries that they can go in and see or whatever. Because there's some incredible, the painting, the Scream, the one, it's very famous if you look it up or whatever. That one was stolen or whatever. And they think some guy who's a billionaire or whatever has these private collections.
Right, on a room that he doesn't display.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. And to your point about when it's jewelry, melting it down or taking it apart, because I understand that it could be, I guess, available on the black market, but you don't want to let anybody know that you have it. But otherwise, you can't above board sell this or auction this stuff off. It's stolen merchandise.
Yeah, the market's a little tight.
So, interesting. Let's hit a quick news update. We'll talk about the Utica School Board situation as well. We'll also get some comments in. Go ahead, Smitty. Right now, 53 degrees with some clouds. It is 6:35. House lawmakers approving a more than $1 trillion annual defense policy bill. The 2027 National Defense Authorization Act was passed 216 to 212, with 6 Democrats joining most Republicans to vote in favor. A majority of Democrats did not support the measure, with some citing their opposition and tying it to the Iran war, others expressing concerns over a provision that would expand the collaboration between the U.S. and Israeli militaries. The legislation now heads to the U.S. Senate. Meanwhile, the U.S. working to develop Saudi Arabia's nuclear energy program. The U.S. Energy Department announcing Wednesday the agreement allows the kingdom to use American technology to build nuclear reactors. It also allows the country to enrich uranium. Tropical storm Bertha is headed toward Texas. The National Hurricane Center says Bertha now about 100 miles southwest of New Orleans and moving toward East Texas with sustained winds of 45 miles an hour. The tropical storm warning is in effect along the coast from south of New Orleans to just west of Houston. Protests broke out in Wisconsin after a deadly police shooting there. Police say officers responded to a call near downtown Madison on Wednesday afternoon about a suspect who was reportedly checking car doors and got in a struggle with a man in the middle of a busy intersection when an officer fired a shot and killed him. Police say the suspect was armed with a knife. The Secret Service boosting security for the rescheduled White House Correspondents' Dinner after an assassination attempt at the original event back in April. On Wednesday, Secret Service Director Sean Curran acknowledged his team is at a heightened level of a threat environment based on things happening around the globe. And San Diego Comic-Con gets underway today. The annual 4-day pop culture convention is usually filled with surprise guests. This year, fans are hoping stars of the upcoming Avengers Doomsday will make an appearance during the event's Marvel presentation. Stars from DC Studios may also show up to promote the new Green Lantern series premiering next month on HBO. You look excited about that, Smitty.
Well, if it was here, I would have went. I'm not going to San Diego.
No, I thought maybe you were excited about
I am
Green
excited.
Lantern.
No, I'm excited about the Green Lantern and the Avengers.
Right now we have cloudy skies, 54 degrees. Tim, are you a Green Lantern guy?
I
feel like that's
I collected
a
the
throwback.
cartoons or the comic books when I was a kid, which my parents threw away. It drives me nuts to think about what the value of those, because I had like early. I was more Marvel than Superman, Batman, or whatever. But I mean, I had early Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. I can't imagine what they'd be worth.
Yeah, I was always. To me, they were like the basics, right? I mean, you could include the Avengers, but Batman, Superman, boy, I'm forgetting now, even Hercules. But I remember hearing about Green Lantern, and I was like, Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Who's Green Lantern?
Yeah.
I don't remember that being a superhero, but, you know, it is what it is. Right now, cloudy skies, 54 degrees. It is 6:39.
We'll continue to look at some great weather as it continues to stay fairly cool here the next couple of mornings. Actually, for this time of year, not bad at all. This morning, a little patchy fog and cool and comfortable. This afternoon, sunshine, 77. Tonight, mainly clear. Lows will be in the low 50s, so yes, North Country in the 40s. Friday, sunshine, low 80s. Over the weekend, sunshine, a little bit warmer. Highs both days right around 85. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajek, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Don't risk losing the news, sports, and weather that AM radio delivers. When cell and internet service fail, AM is your lifeline. With time running out, your voice matters. Text AM to 39179 and tell Congress, vote yes on the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
It's about how you feel when you walk through the doors and when you leave. That's Steep Pawnee Mazda on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's the Ricky Z way, right? It's the Steep Pawnee way. But beyond that, it's every single employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steep Pawnee Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5, where it's always easy to do business? Steep Pawnee Mazda.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, a couple of stories that we've discussed in recent weeks and were worth keeping an eye on. We got Tanya J. Powers coming up in just a minute. I guess we're going to have to break this into two segments. The Utica School Board situation, they voted not to renew Christopher Spence's contract.
Right.
Four members, I believe, did.
Right. But he still has like a year and a half or whatever it is in his original contract.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
So the big question is he coming back in September, or is there going to be something else that's the hammer going to come down on that?
You would, well, I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but it would seem like...
I don't think he's going to be coming in with a happy heart.
Yeah, right.
In September, but...
You think there'll be a lot of apples on his desk when he when he
I
gets
don't know,
back?
yeah. So, I don't know. It feels like, to me, it feels like there's going to be a settlement of some way, shape, or manner.
Yeah, it would seem that way. And then the Edgar Lopez story out of New Hartford. Apparently, charges dismissed?
Correct. And
restitution paid.
Right. I guess the final number was like something like $6,100. It was more than I think originally reported. The money was paid back. The story that I read I think both the OD and the Sentinel covered it, said that the money was not paid by Edgar, but was paid for by concerned citizens. And the DA saying since full restitution was made, they're dropping charges, and that apparently he says that wants to go back. He's going back to Mexico, and he is now in ICE detention in Mississippi.
So I think Cully's in here, and possibly he can shed a little light on this. Can you? You're shaking your head. I don't know what you can say on the air.
Yes, I can.
Okay, sounds good. Fill us in. So he was in court yesterday, charges dismissed, restitution paid.
And the restitution was paid by the community. The community raised the funding for him, and it ended up being over $6,000. They paid it off, and credit to District Attorney Todd Carville for agreeing to drop the charges. However, he remains in ICE custody, and as Mr. Reed just said, he is scheduled for voluntary deportation.
Interesting. I didn't mean to laugh while you were saying that, but did you run here?
No, I'm mad.
Oh, okay. I was going to say catch your breath.
I'm mad about a couple things.
So, what's voluntary deportation? He wants to go home, but I sense he doesn't want to go home.
From what we know, the article I read, his son said that he would never request voluntary deportation. There's no way that would happen.
Well, so what's the deal then?
Does
that mean he can come back if he volunteers, as opposed to?
He could go through the process of coming back if he voluntarily deported, but the issue is the charges were dismissed with prejudice, which means that they can't be filed again.
Right.
Okay. So you're basically deporting him because now you're saying he's an illegal immigrant. Now it's coming to that. It's going to him not being legal as an American.
So, and he's been here 25 years.
And he's been here 25 years.
I got to follow up on that and ask about the whole situation where he was checking in Syracuse. So hold on. We got to pause this for 1 second. Fox's Tanya J. Powers is on the line. And as a matter of fact, obviously for the last month, 6 weeks, there's been many people from other countries in our country visiting, touring, touristing, and playing soccer. We've got some final numbers on the World Cup as it relates to the television audience. Good morning, Tanya.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, so a new record was set, is that right?
Yeah, there are a lot of people who care about soccer, especially the World Cup, and watched it with wild abandon. Apparently, the Fox recorded 38.9 million viewers for the FIFA World Cup 2026 final, the game between Spain and Argentina. It was the most watched soccer telecast in U.S. history. When you look at the digital coverage, that is a giant number. Our Fox Sports digital coverage, which also includes Fox Sports 1, of course, Tubi, 17.2 billion content views. It is the most digitally viewed event in our network history. So it was pretty huge.
Sorry. Tanya, Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe. Are those numbers worldwide, the 17 billion?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they were. And I can tell you that last game, the men's team versus Belgium in the round of 16, 33,089,000 viewers to be exact. Which again was that was the most watched soccer telecast in U.S. history until the final, which was that 38.9 million. So it beat it by about 5 million.
Yeah, it was incredible. Obviously, I think these numbers only go up. It's almost like the holiday travel numbers. They never seem to go down. And the more and more people we have on this planet, the more and more of them watch soccer. These numbers are just going to continue to go up. I'm sure it'll be broken by the next FIFA World Cup final, unless barring some unforeseen circumstance.
Yeah, that 38 million number, the 38 million viewers for the final. I'm thinking that has to be like an average maybe, because the record-breaking final actually had 51 million viewers that watched between 5:45 and 6 p.m. Eastern when Spain secured the victory in extra time over Argentina. So I think it had already gotten a great big crowd, and then evidently for the last 15 minutes of the game, everybody went, wait a minute, I need to see the end of this, and logged on, tuned in, whatever you want to call it, to watch. But yeah, those numbers are just enormous, and no telling what. I think that there's going to be a lot of people who saw these games, either went to them in other parts of the U.S. or, here in New York or whatever, who, are now interested a little bit more in it than they might have been. I think the soccer fever kind of got a lot of new fans, especially when we saw not just the games, but sort of the storylines that went along with everything. The sheer joy of watching the Scots and the people from Norway, just for starters, were just, it was a wholesome thing to see an entire stadium rowing.
Yeah.
With the Norwegians, it was a lot of fun to kind of watch those videos that went viral all the time. It seems like during the tournament, it was a pretty big deal. And we don't have to wait 4 more years for one of these. There is a World Cup next year.
Well, yes, I know the ladies will be competing, I believe, in Brazil.
And we've actually won the World Cup. The U.S. women's team has won it. So that's a pretty big deal. If anybody's looking for an excuse to go to Brazil, next June and July is your time.
All right, Fox's Tanya J. Powers, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Do we have Frank with us? No, we got to call him back. We just had Frank Policelli on the telephone there as we were trying to wrap up Tanya, but we want to talk about the situation. His future for Edgar Lopez Duran. Is he going back voluntarily? What does that mean? Why would he agree to do that if his son says he's not interested in doing that? Go ahead. No, hey, Smitty, can you turn his mic on from there? Hang on, he's going to turn you right back on in a second. Okay, there we go.
The article I read said that he was scheduled for voluntary deportation. Now, the issue has been attorney Frank Policelli has had zero communication with Edgar's immigration lawyer.
Okay.
He's called him. His calls have not been returned. There's been no communication there. So he is kind of in the dark about what has been going on. And, he was even asked if justice was served. And he said yes and no. He said yes because we were able to get the charges dropped. But no, if he ends up getting deported, and like I said, when Edgar's son was interviewed, he said there is no way that my father would voluntarily agree to be deported to Mexico. And this goes back to, it has nothing to do with the crime. It goes back to him being an illegal immigrant is what it would come down to.
So, but again, I thought this whole checking in Syracuse once a month or whatever the case was, I thought his status was good to go. He was employed by a municipality.
25 years.
You know, yeah, it's one thing to be in business, but when you are employed by the government,
by the town in New Hartford, yeah.
Okay, it just seems odd to me. The other thing is there's been reports that he was being held at a facility in Mississippi.
Tennessee as well.
Well, I believe the OD story says Louisiana this morning.
Yeah, they've been moving him around.
I don't understand why.
That's how they operate. That's how ICE is. They keep you on their
toes. For what purpose?
So
potato?
You can't communicate with them. Who knows?
I know they've shut down some of the detention centers and then opened new ones. So.
And some are for children. It's been messy. But this now is regarding his status as an immigrant, trying to say that he's an illegal when he's had work visas for years and has been in this country 25 years. He is not technically, I believe, an American citizen.
Correct. That was my understanding.
But he has been here legally for 25 years, operated a business legally for 25 years, and none of this would have come to light without those charges being filed against him.
So are his children legal?
His children are legal, unless Trump overturns that law about the birthright. But
that's right. Yeah,
he was trying to get that overturned, but so far it has not happened. It's just a very, very toxic, unfortunate situation. It should have never gotten this far, and it was wonderful that the charges were dismissed. We talked about it with Katie on Monday, and she agreed that the charges would most likely be dismissed because even if he were to accept the plea that Carville was offering, not being in person to do so doesn't help. I mean, he can't take the plea. So every order, I believe, that the district attorney and the judge have given to try to get him back has not worked. So it's been ignored all the way around. Yeah. So, this is the Steve Cully Show, just so you know, everyone knows. Best podcast host in the universe. Tim, can you believe this? I mean, this is such a big story in our little town.
Yeah. I mean, this certainly is a job that I think that Edgar wish he never took. Because it just lit off a huge fire.
Yeah, he's making $35,000 a year doing the construction work for the town, and filling out his time cards, turning everything in, and it goes from that to a nightmare, and allegedly over the political situation of trying to change that.
I'm still curious to know what
the voluntary deportation.
No, they wanted him. They were trying to get some information. Well, we'll go to Frank now. Frank Policelli joins us on the phone. He was representing Edgar Lopez Duran. Good morning. What did we get right and what did we get wrong?
Well, here's the deal. Edgar Lopez Duran would never voluntarily go back to Mexico. His son talked to him on Saturday. He mentioned nothing about going back to Mexico. The immigration lawyer spoke to Edgar's son. They're still trying to fight his deportation. So when we went to court yesterday, the district attorney makes these allegations about this stuff, claiming he talked to ICE and ICE told him this. I don't believe, first of all, I won't believe anything ICE ever says on their word, number one. Number two, when you go to court on a criminal case, you're entitled to discovery. If there was any evidence of any communications that ICE had saying that Edgar was going back, I would have had to have been provided with that. I wasn't provided with anything.
Never turned over.
Well, they don't have anything. I don't believe they have anything, okay? That's not true. And the reason why that's important, I'm going to back up a little bit here. Understand this. I made my deal with Kurt Schultz from the district attorney's office that if they brought him back, he'd get an ACD. And there's no such word as restitution was ever mentioned in any deals. The word restitution implies you did something wrong and you're paying it back.
Right.
Okay? No, but what happened was people took up a collection for him to to give to New Hartford as remuneration as part of a charity. Kurt couldn't make it because unfortunately his father passed away. So he wasn't there yesterday. So I get Monday, when it was a Tuesday night, I get a motion from the district attorney's office, which is typical of them, trying to hit you with the last minute with things, right? Saying, well, for all his wrongdoings, he stole money, he's going to make restitution. No, that's not true. That's as far from the truth as a frog is from feathers. He did nothing wrong. Yep. And so I've had to make the record clear on that. Why? Because in the event his family wants to commit a civil lawsuit, they can't use any of these statements against them.
Interesting. So the money was collected and then just essentially donated
and it was
to the
$6,000, not
yes.
$3,000.
Yes.
They collected $6,000.
So,
yes.
So Frank, the $6,000 that apparently is charitable, does that mean that it's locked up by New Hartford, that they can only use it in a certain way, or they can do whatever they want?
I had nothing to do with that. I don't know. I didn't know. I was told about that from the district, from Kurt Schultz, who is the best district attorney in that office. No question about it. He's the most experienced. He's defended people. He's been in federal court. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to deal with people. So we made the deal. And then if these people wanted to rally behind Edgar and make some kind of contribution, that's fine. But, I haven't been able to talk to Edgar because of ICE. Remember this. The United States Constitution evidently does not apply to ICE. You have no due process whatsoever. So the ICE issue overshadows the criminal indictment where they say, we had strong evidence against him. That's another thing that's a crock of bull, because they had no evidence against him. They had no evidence that this man committed any crimes. And he never had his day in court to be able to prove to everybody, to clear his name, to show that he's not guilty of anything. And so the judge says, well, are you going to object to the case being dismissed? I says, of course I'm not going to object to the case being dismissed, but what I will object to are the underlying facts contained in this motion that I was hit with at the last minute that I don't even get a chance to respond to.
So, all right, Frank, hang with us here because we're up against it. It's a hard break. I can't control it. We'll break for Fox News at the top of the hour, and if you can, stick with us. It's First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Sirens have sounded in Kuwait and Bahrain. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, as Iran retaliates again after a 12th straight night of American bombing.
CENTCOM released a statement saying more than 50,000 U.S. service members are operating across the Middle East and remain highly vigilant, focused, lethal, and ready.
Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv. Iran-backed Houthi rebels attacked 2 Saudi Arabian oil tankers in another waterway, not the Strait of Hormuz, trying to restrict more shipping in the region.
This is certainly an escalation because it means it's not just rhetoric from the Houthis in Yemen. And Secretary of State Rubio spoke earlier specifically about the threat from the Houthis. And he said, look, they're getting dragged into this conflict by Iran. They were smart to stay out of Operation Epic Fury. But if they get more directly involved, the possibility of U.S. or Israeli strikes against the Houthis is certainly on the table. We've seen it before.
President Trump keeps threatening to intensify U.S. attacks after nuclear talks broke down.
They're not ready to make a deal. because every time they make a deal, they want to change it and everything. They're not ready. They'll be ready very soon.
The president said that at a Republican rally in Marietta, Georgia, where he also said prices have been coming down lately, but oil is up again today, almost 4%. WTI hitting a 6-week high. It's $90 a barrel again, and the price at the gas pump's also risen again. It's up 15 cents since last Thursday. And in a Fox News poll,
if the November election was today, 53% would back the Democratic candidate in their House district, while 46% would back the Republican. Roughly 3/4 of those polled, 76%, say they'd rate the economy as only fair or poor, and another 3/4 say inflation has caused them financial hardship.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Tropical storm Bertha keeps moving slowly in the Gulf, headed toward Texas later today after flooding some low-lying areas when it first hit Louisiana.
But really, it's not much of a center of circulation there. That big bulge of rain, mostly out over the Gulf. The heaviest rain has been offshore, but the winds are still there. The waves are still there.
That's Adam Klotz. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. Does it work? And can you trust it? Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Chris has spent years doing physical work, leaving his feet sore at the end of the day. After starting Relief Factor, he felt so good he did something he'd never done before. He ran a half marathon. Now he tells all his friends about Relief Factor. I've got back issues. I've been taking Relief Factor every single morning for years. Without it, the back problems come back. They make it easy to find if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor gave you your life back. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be soon sharing your story with us, too. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF.
Venezuela's ousted leader Nicolas Maduro now has a trial date in New York City where he and his wife remain jailed after being captured by the U.S. military in what he calls a kidnapping, labeling himself a political prisoner of war.
June 1st, 2027 is when a federal trial for Maduro and his wife Celia Flores will begin. Both pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking charges. During a short status hearing Wednesday, defense attorney Barry Pollock said his case will likely begin by arguing that the couple's detainment was illegal. He'll start filing those arguments in September. If the court agrees with that argument, the case comes to a halt. Prosecutors maintain Maduro worked with drug lords to funnel cocaine into the U.S. Pretrial oral arguments are set to start November 17th. In New York, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
In another federal case, a Louisiana pastor convicted of fraud.
56-year-old Dale Sanders guilty on 25 counts, including wire fraud, access device fraud, and obstruction of a federal investigation. Prosecutors say Sanders stole money from two churches where he served as pastor between 2020 and 2024, using church accounts and a church debit card to pay for gambling, dining, and other personal expenses. He's set to be sentenced October 13th and faces up to 20 years in prison. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
On Wall Street, as oil prices rise, stocks may fall. Dow futures down more than 100 points. The longest win streak in Major League Baseball in 5 years is over.
And a little flare on the infield. That'll be caught by Holiday. That's the ball game. The Red Sox lose for the first time since the 1st of July.
The final out on Nesson as Baltimore snaps Boston 15-game win streak 5-1 in the second game of a doubleheader. Boston, the Red Sox won the opener, tying an 80-year-old team record with 15 straight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox.
All right, cloudy skies, 54 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. As we were just talking with local attorney Frank Policelli about the case involving Edgar Lopez Duran. He had charges against him dismissed in court yesterday. Also, some uncertainty as to the money that was raised and where that actually goes now. Frank saying on the air some $6,000 was raised. And essentially, he called it a charity fund that's being donated to the town of New Hartford. I do have some questions about that, but he says he has been unable to speak with his client, who is still in ICE custody, and he was notified that his client had agreed to a voluntary deportation, something his son says he does not believe that he would have agreed to do. A New York State court officer is now accused of taking intimate photos of a woman without consent. James Madera has been charged with felony unlawful surveillance. Authorities say he took pictures of the woman without her knowledge, but few other details were given. Madera is a former prison guard at Marcy Correctional Facility and was recently hired by New York State courts. The Utica School Board voting not to renew Superintendent Christopher Spence's employment contract, which expires in August of 2027. Board President Joseph Obaika Jr., Jason Cooper, Braden Nana, and James Paul all voted yes to a resolution to not renew the contract. Howard Potter voted no. Danielle Padula and Tennille Knoop were not at the meeting. Spence is currently on leave through the end of this month, and he has notified the New York State Division of Human Rights that he alleges violations from the Utica City School District and School Board. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, news time 7:07. We'll get back into these discussions here on the Keeler Show right after your Weather Center forecast.
We'll continue to look at some great weather as it continues to stay fairly cool here the next couple of mornings. Actually, for this time of year, not bad at all. This morning, a little patchy fog and cool and comfortable. This afternoon, sunshine, 77. Tonight, mainly clear. Lows will be in the low 50s, so yes, North Country in the 40s. Friday, sunshine, low 80s. Over the weekend, sunshine, a little bit warmer. Highs both days, right around 85. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 56 degrees at 7:08. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk. Let's see here. The Mets dropped their rubber match in Milwaukee. The final 4-3. Christian Scott took the loss. The Mets dropped 2 out of 3. They host the Dodgers for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow at Citi Field. The Yankees split their doubleheader against the Pirates. New York dropped the first game 5-3, but bounced back with a 2-0 victory in the nightcap. The Bombers have now won 3 out of 4. They visit the Phillies for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow. The Red Sox tied a franchise record with their 15th straight victory, beating the Orioles 6-3 in the opener of a double dip at Fenway. They did lose the nightcap, though, 5-1. Boston won the series, taking 2 out of 3. They host the Blue Jays for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow. Tim, would you like to gloat about this?
Well, we're crawling from the wreckage. I mean...
but you're right back in the race.
We are back in the race. We are back in the race.
15 straight victories will do that for you, unless you're the Mets and you're 20 games under.
A few weeks ago, I would have said that we were going to be sellers, but, maybe we're going to end up being buyers.
I'm double checking here the latest on the standings to see how many games back, but obviously 15 straight wins. Oh, is it that much? I actually thought it was less. Yes, 7 games behind the Rays and 4.5 behind the Yankees for second place in the division.
Right. So in the hunt for wild card.
And then sticking with baseball and the Yankees, I see that Caballero's being targeted. That's the headlines I read. They say he's being targeted. I think he's found a way to kind of game the system a bit.
Yeah.
Where he won't make eye contact with the pitcher until the very last second to throw off timing and rhythm. So we can discuss that coming up later in the program as well. It's 7:10. Go ahead. Were you going to say?
No.
It's 7:10. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC Chem Dry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC Chem Dry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they are now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Taking a look at some of the comments here on YouTube. Cully Hogan in studio. You can stop saying best podcaster at the planet or something like that. Just call yourself Cully Hogan.
That's my brand.
There you go. Okay. We don't watch soccer, yada, yada. I remember Bill about this specific fact. He is illegal, period, checking in so they can keep an eye on him. I'll give you any time. Okay, illegal is illegal. If only being here for 25 years made you legal, 25 years in the country and cannot read or write the language. Let's see here. 100% deeds, and best part is let the person try to do that in another country, and it's a no-go. So obviously,
very true.
He doesn't have a fan club on our YouTube stream here this morning.
Well, they're 100% correct. You can't go to Germany and become a German. It doesn't work like that. And he has been in the country 25
Well, what do you mean? You can't do that at all?
No, you can't.
They're not taking any new citizens?
You can't be a German citizen. You can go and live in Germany, but you're technically not German. Like, you can become an American citizen.
You can become an American. You can become a naturalized citizen.
Yeah, by taking the test or being born here. Other countries do not allow immigration on those terms.
Let's see here. Deeds. ICE is keeping the country safe.
And Big Honey and Heckler says if Edgar got caught on the first place, he'd still be filling out time cards when he was on vacation.
Well, he's saying if he didn't get caught in the first place. Well, isn't the way this story goes that he wasn't filling out time cards, that they were doing it for him?
He allegedly was having it done or looked over by people in the office. Now, I am also an orphan today. I am not the son of Herb Cully, just so that's out there. I just know that the whole thing, when you're charging someone with a third degree felony, intent plays a huge part. When the prosecutor presents their evidence to get somebody indicted, okay, they're supposed to present facts. Now, the prosecutor in this case left out certain facts that were in the interview. He was interviewed for several hours. I believe it was 4.5, and I think it was 8 total. But this is what, out of the investigator's own mouth, he said, exactly, that's my point. You were set up for failure because you knew you couldn't do that job by yourself, and your guys banged it out. You guys did a stellar job. And then Policelli further went on to say in the minutes that Duran says that he has no idea. Policelli quoted the investigator saying, I know you didn't know, Edgar. I know you don't. And I know in your heart that you don't feel you did anything wrong. None of this was presented to the grand jury.
Okay, so but again, when they're trying to get an indictment, they're not trying the case, and they're not going to put forth evidence that's favorable to the potential.
But you're supposed to put forth all the evidence. And the grand jury, they're fact finders. They go through the facts, they make the decision on the indictment. You can't cherry pick what you want to show them and what you don't.
Is that correct? That's not my understanding of it. That's why they say you can indict a ham sandwich.
My legal authority is pretty
Yeah,
weak.
well, I'm not going to pretend like I know either. It didn't strike me as that was the case, but in any event, the charge is ultimately dismissed. I have questions about the money, and as Frank Policelli pointed out, it's not appropriate to call it restitution if he wasn't charged with a crime, right? So I'm curious about this $6,000 donation to the town.
Where's it going? Yeah.
Is this going to lower our taxes or something like that if you live in the town of New Hartford?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. I'm waiting on my rebate check.
It was raised by the community who cared for him. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay, Cully. We'll go to the phone lines now. Good morning, Stefan. How are you?
Oh.
Well, hello, Jeff.
Good morning. What's going on?
Hello for me, Stefan.
Hello, Steve, and hello, Davey and Tim.
So what's on your mind this morning, bud?
Well, I was at the Blue Sox game last night over at Murnane Field, and it was Pink the Park night for cancer, and Sunday is their last home game, and they would be in third place. They would be going to Socrates for a playoff game, and they would need Amsterdam to lose to host a playoff game.
All right. Well, I hope that they get that that's able to happen so that the Blue Sox can host a game. I suspect you'll be there if they are at home hosting a playoff game.
Yes, I will be.
Fingers crossed you won't be there if they're on the road playing in Socrates.
No, I won't.
Okay, that sounds good.
We have a town called Socrates.
Socrates. You're not familiar with Socrates, New York?
No, I thought you said Socrates.
No, okay, no, Socrates.
I didn't know if Socrates was from...
Yeah, I butchered that, maybe.
So let me ask you this, Stefan. Did you see New Hartford Little League? The 10 to 12-year-olds are now down to the... they won their game the other night. 5-0 was the final, so now they're in the final 8 in New York State.
I saw something about that on social media, and good luck to them moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. They have an excellent team, and I wish them the best of luck in the state tournament.
Maybe New Hartford can donate the $6,100 to them to
for travel fees.
Yeah,
Maybe some road hot dogs and
there
Gatorades.
You go. Absolutely.
Maybe they should do that. That's a better fund. I love it, Tim.
Fine cause.
Stefan, thank you for the call today, bud.
You're welcome, guys.
All right, that is Stefan Rubitsky checking in. Stefan, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Who's getting traded from the Mets?
I'm hearing maybe Clay Holmes. Maybe I'd like to see maybe Lindor get traded, but he has a big contract. And now I'm hearing maybe the new center fielder, Luis Robert Jr., might have some teams interested.
Yeah, he just came off the DL. He had a monster home run the other night. But we'll see what happens with him.
Yes, he did.
All right. As a matter of fact, I think he played a couple rehab games in Syracuse. So
I believe he did. I think he did.
All right. Thank you, Stefan.
You're welcome, Jeff.
All right. That is Stefan Rubitsky checking in.
I think at this point, Cohen wants to get traded.
Yeah, right.
Been a rough year.
It is 7:22. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with more. It's First News Keeler in the morning on W.
For a number of reasons, Sarah's Flooring Outlet should be on the top of your list for any of your flooring needs. This is Bill Keeler. Reason number one, Sarah's has the area's largest inventory in stock and plenty for you to choose from. Reason number two, Sarah's offers the best in quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratec, Mannington, and there are so many others. Reason number three, Sarah's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. Reason number four, it's service. Decades of experience, starting with Sal and Sarah and everybody, the entire team. You get unbeatable service at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And remember, you can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you see why more people buy from the big store. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Support the 7th annual Purple Heart Veterans Car Show in a brand new way. Reserve your square today for a $100 donation and help fill the board for a great cause. 2 winners will be selected on the day of the car show, with $2,500 awarded to each winner once the $10,000 goal is met. You don't need to be present to win, and you can even upload a photo of your car to display in your square. Reserve your square today at purpleheart490.com. That's purpleheart490.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they're now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, It is First News Keeler on vacation, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM. All right, a couple more comments quick. Deeds says, I love that you both just admitted that the money would be better used for New Hartford Little League and not illegal Edgar. And then he says a couple of curse words that I'm not going to share on the air.
Were they about me?
No.
Oh.
And then Mr. Nice Guy replies, I agree ICE should be there for illegals, but I do not agree with the way they are going about it. Law enforcement should never be allowed to operate and detain with a mask on, period. He says, wearing a mask tells me that you're a coward and you're not proud of what you are doing. If a mask is for their safety, the mask is for their safety and their families. There are a lot of crazies out there that would go after their families. Stephen, I guess I understand that, but we don't put police officers, what's the other one? The FBI, but
SWAT,
the task force, like the New York, New Jersey,
DEA.
Yeah, DEA. None of those do we put in, and they deal with cartels and stuff, but we don't put any of them in masks.
And I don't believe ICE wears body cameras.
Well, they should. I think they should. I think it would be helpful to them, and if they're doing wrongdoing, it would expose them.
I think that the problem that they're saying right now is the funding has been held up on that in regards to it because of the latest shooting that took place in Maine.
Yeah, there were 2 recently.
Yeah, so they're saying because the Congress is holding up the money, that because they want to have at least one body camera active every single time that there's a takedown, rather than on every single agent. They have, I guess they just do not have enough money for every single agent to do this.
I find that hard to believe. We find money for so many other things that are absurd.
I know.
To say that they don't have money for the cameras, I think is kind of wild. And if you think about the upgrades in technology, these body cameras have been around for several years now. I'm sure there have been new iterations of cameras. In other words, what I'm saying is there are passable, usable cameras that are sitting on a shelf somewhere that have been replaced with newer technology. I don't buy that argument. That's just my opinion. One more here from Mr. Nice Guy. It's about accountability. It's about accountability, he says. Body cam should run from the time they come out of the dock until they're put back in the dock. You can always redact, but we can never go back to what they leave out. We know this from what happened to Robert Brooks. Okay. Those are some comments on our YouTube stream. Let me just check this message here. Nope, that is not related to
I
that.
only want comments that are about me. So if there aren't any, you don't have to read.
Well,
what, positive comments?
No, negative.
Oh.
Whatever.
There was one here that caught my attention. Cully needs a cape. If you cross Kevin James, Macho Man, and Jesse the Body Ventura, you have Cully.
I like that. Who said that?
I bet you do like that.
Tell him I'll Venmo.
It was. I think Cully sent it.
Yes, this was from Cully. No, it's from Jawick this morning. Good morning, Jawick.
Thank you, Jawick.
All right, a couple of other stories we've been talking about this morning. The Utica School Board voting not to renew Superintendent Dr. Christopher Spence's employment contract. He is still under contract through this upcoming school year, set to expire in August of 2027. There were 4 yes votes to not extend his contract, 1 no vote. That came from Howard Potter, and 2 members, Padula and Knoop, were not at the meeting.
Does that mean they abstained?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what to make of that. It could have been they had a prior engagement. It could have been they wanted to avoid this, I guess.
Yeah.
It is an abstination, maybe. But it could be they're out of town on a family vacation. It is summer. I mean.
Oh, yeah, it says.
So I don't exactly know what the reason is there that they were not at the meeting, although it sounds like a very important meeting, one you'd want to be a part of.
They said Spence is currently on a leave that he requested through this month.
And he's also filed suit against the school district
for discrimination.
He took it himself.
Yeah, with the New York State Division of Human Rights. Yes, I see that there. Let me hit a quick news update here. We'll come back. We've got some tickets to give away for a show coming up on August 1st. Let me do news first. Thank you, Smitty. We have 59 degrees at 7:31. Iran says it will keep attacking targets in the Middle East as long as it remains under attack. An army spokesperson made the televised comments as the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen have started attacking Saudi Arabian shipping in the Red Sea. President Trump has vowed to attack civilian infrastructure in Iran every time a ship in the critical strait is attacked. The cycle seems poised to continue for now, with Iran's foreign minister writing online that his country's doctrine is, quote, an eye for an eye, end quote. Tropical storm Bertha is eyeing Texas. The National Hurricane Center says Bertha is now about 95 miles southeast of Lake Charles, Louisiana, moving toward East Texas with sustained winds of 45 miles an hour. The storm is expected to make landfall in Texas sometime this afternoon and move further inland this evening. It is expected to maintain intensity until it starts moving over land. The Food and Drug Administration still trying to find the source of the gastrointestinal illness that's sickened thousands of people. More than 70 new cases of cyclosporiasis were reported this week, an illness caused by parasites linked to food and water. It causes nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, and has sent more than 300 people across the country to the hospital. The FDA says it doesn't know what is causing the outbreak. Jeffrey Epstein's former private investment banker will be grilled on Capitol Hill today. The House Oversight Committee is scheduled to interview Jess Staley, who was a finance executive for J.P. Morgan Chase for 30 years, and he managed wealthy clients, including the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Staley agreed to a closed-door interview after his appearance was requested as part of the committee's inquiry of the federal Epstein probe. SpaceX planning to test launch its massive Starship rocket from its facility in Starbase, Texas later today. The mission was previously planned for July 16th, but scrubbed at the last minute because of an issue with several of the Rocket 33 Raptor engines. And the 2025 World Series champion LA Dodgers will be welcomed to the White House today by President Trump. Today's visit will continue a tradition of reigning sports champs being invited to the People's House that dates back to 1869 when the Cincinnati Red Stockings met with President Ulysses S. Grant. 1869. Right now we have cloudy skies, 59 degrees at 7:33.
We'll continue to look at some great weather as it continues to stay fairly cool here the next couple of mornings. Actually, for this time of year, not bad at all. This morning, a little patchy fog and cool and comfortable. This afternoon, sunshine, 77. Tonight, mainly clear. Lows will be in the low 50s, so yes, North Country in the 40s. Friday, sunshine, low 80s. Over the weekend, sunshine, a little bit warmer. Highs both days right around 85. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagek, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
And Spinny, we have tickets for an event happening on August 1st. It's at the View Arts Center. How sweet it is.
You want to do free money?
Steve Leslie sings James Taylor. Okay, yeah, we'll do free money. That is the qualifying prize, I guess?
Yes.
All right, so we'll take caller 8. How much money is on the line today?
$150.
315-150. It's Thursday.
Yeah, $150.
315-736-0186. We'll take caller number 8. It's the free money question of the day from the Hobica Law Firm on WIBX.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, the summer sale is on. This is the big one at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Listen to this. This is a great deal, folks. On select beds, get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Save, save, save. If that weren't enough, pick out any king or queen set in the store, buy one, and get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. You heard me right. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers, and no credit check payment plans every day. A massage chair? On select massage chairs, get a $500 prepaid Visa card. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In Rome on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back, Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris, experience suspension. All loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Whitesboro Central School District is hiring bus drivers to support its transportation team. Serving 7 schools and more than 3,100 students, Whitesboro is one of Central New York's leading school systems with an impressive 96% graduation rate. As a driver, you will enjoy flexible scheduling, benefits, and opportunities for summer work. It is an ideal role for retirees, career changers, or anyone ready to make a real impact in their community. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or visit 20 Wood Road in Whitesboro today.
People of all ages can experience any level of discomfort for knee pain, hip pain, back pain, and you know what? It could be stemming from your feet. This is Bill Keeler. The Good Feet Store is here to help, and there are so many that swear by these inserts that go into your shoes and make all the difference in the world when it comes to pain. It's a 3-step system: strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. There's a whole program that you follow, and it could very well change your life when it comes to pain. It's called the Good Feet Store. No obligation. You can walk right in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment is needed. You can walk right in. They're located now in New Hartford at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Get directions, make an appointment if you like, ask questions, 315-999-3910. It's the Good Feet Store, 315-999-3910.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Because I don't know how I'm transitioning out of this back into what we've been talking about. There we go. My mic is on. It is First News Keeler in the morning. All right, Smitty, we have tickets that Fred has already won. Fred has tickets to How Sweet It Is. Steve Leslie sings James Taylor. It's happening at the View Arts Center, and it's from 7:30 to 9:30. It's the View Arts Center in Old Forge. That's coming up on August 1st. Good morning, Fred. How are you?
Good, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good. It is Jeff. It's First News Keeler on vacation this week. But we're going to try to hook you up with $150 from Neho Bica Law Firm. No, it's okay. All right. This is a tough question, though. I think you can do it. As Bill would say, it's doable. All right. This week marks an anniversary. As a matter of fact, yesterday was the anniversary. But this notorious criminal, one of America's best-known bank robbers, also known as Public Enemy Number 1, was killed by federal agents in a hail of bullets outside of a Chicago theater on this date, like 93 years ago. Who was it? Ready, go.
Oh, I know this, too. I just can't think of his name right now.
Cully?
That would be the great John Dillinger.
The great John Dillinger?
Oh, yeah, he was a phenomenal bank robber.
Oh, okay.
Great criminal. I'm a criminal buff.
Fred, unfortunately, you didn't win $150, but you did win tickets. No, you don't either. You did win tickets to Steve Leslie Sings James Taylor. It's happening in Old Forge, coming up August 1st at the View Arts Center. Hang on the line real quick. Smitty's going to get your information.
All right, thank you.
All right, and we're going to take 60 seconds just to reset from that into the topics that we've been talking about. It's 7:40 on WIBX.
Workdays work better with food, and not just any food.
the good stuff. That's why there's Easy Cater, the workplace food platform where you can order from a huge variety of great restaurants for any group size, anytime, anywhere, all in one place. Whether it's gourmet deli trays for the client meeting, spicy noodles for the night shift, tacos for the weekend crew, or a big box of brownies to tell your team, thank you. Just use Easy Cater, one platform to feed them all, and feed them well. Start an order at easycater.com.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Which room is next for you? The bedroom? Your kitchen? The living room? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. What's holding back that next home project? Is it budget? We have flooring choices for any budget and financing options available. Maybe it's inspiration. If so, come and talk to our experienced design team. We're here to help you get unstuck. Maybe you're putting off redoing a room because you're worried about spills and accidents. Whether it's a pet in training or a growing family, we have flooring solutions that can withstand anything life has to throw at it. We have incredibly durable tile options and 100% water-resistant carpeting that's both beautiful and practical. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they are now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, streaming live on YouTube and our mobile app as well. Real quick, Anne in Rome saying, my last test showed we were on the right track, and I'll continue with the same chemo treatment I'm receiving. She has another scan coming up next month in August. And, of course, everybody on the YouTube stream is saying that's great news. So, Anne, God bless you. We're with you. We're praying for you. And we know you're going to make it through. We go now to the phone where Megan Fraser McGrogan is with us. She's the executive director of the Utica Children's Museum, and they have a very cool event coming up at the end of the month. Good morning, Megan. How are you?
Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Good. I'm sorry. Smitty over here is running around crazy. He's earning his money today. But he tells me you have a special event going on July 29th. It's called The Happiest Hour. Tell us about it.
Yes, so this is the first time we are hosting this event, and just like the name says, the happiest hour, we're hoping to have a really happy hour fundraiser. We're calling it a fundraiser for the Children's Museum. The whole idea is it's family friendly. You can bring the kids, but you don't have to bring the kids. You can also just bring yourself. It's basically a really fun evening at Seven Hamlets. We're going to have lots of activities for kids and adults. We have a mobile mini golf, so it's like a portable mini golf setup, so you can play that as an adult or a kid. We'll have our mobile museum there. We're going to have lots of lawn games. We have bounce houses. We'll have auction items, and your ticket includes food and your one drink ticket and all of the games and activities. So it's really just a really fun night out on a hopefully beautiful summer night, knock on wood. It will be outside and inside at Seven Hamlets, which is a great property. Lots of people enjoy that property with their family. So we thought, what a great way to have a fundraiser for the Children's Museum there.
Yeah, it is a great... it sounds like it's a lot of fun at Seven Hamlets. Again, it's in Westmoreland coming up next Wednesday, the 29th from 4 to 7. The Happiest Hour, a fundraiser, a mobile mini golf. That sounds like that's a lot of work.
Well, we rented it from a company, so it's a little private setup. Ironically, it is next to the mini golf course there, but it's a little tough for them to close, for an event. So we're bringing the golf to the event, and like I said, lots of other fun lawn games. But if you don't have kids, you can still come. You can still support the museum. It's just like any other event. And the brewery there is a great, great, lots of space there. So we're going to be spread out with all of these items on the lawn there, and just have a lot of fun.
Bounce houses, the mobile museum, again, $45 for adults, $25 for kids, and children 2 and under are free. It's happening next Wednesday, 4 to 7 at Seven Hamlets Brewing Company. Tickets at the door, or do you order online?
Online, right on uticachildrensmuseum.org. If you go right to the website, a pop-up will hit you. You can click that link. It's also in our events calendar. We also have lots of posts on our Facebook page, which is just Utica Children's Museum, or our Instagram, which is Utica Kids Museum. And all the proceeds are going to the museum to support our programming and the thousands of families that come through the door every year. It takes a lot to keep the museum operating. I think a lot of folks think, oh, great, it's built and open. To operate the museum, it takes a lot. So this all supports those operations and the special programming we do and all of our supplies and materials throughout the year.
All right, Megan Fraser-McGrogan, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning, and good luck.
Thank you, Jeff. Have a great day.
You too. We'll stay on the phone lines here. We've been able to reconnect with attorney Frank Policelli. Good morning, sir. How are you? So Frank, I got to ask again about this. We're talking about this Edgar Lopez Duran situation. You haven't had a chance to communicate with him. Reports say he's being held at an ICE facility in either Mississippi or Louisiana.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. That's another one that's come up. Do you know where he's being held, and why is he frequently being moved, if that's what's happening?
Well, I'm not his immigration lawyer, but I believe he's in Mississippi.
Okay, I saw the OD article said Louisiana. Yeah. Cully, you're telling me Tennessee, so
I heard Mississippi as well.
So, all right, let me ask you about thank you for joining us for a few minutes at the end of last hour. After we spoke to you, we're still confused on this $6,000 or $6,100. I understand you say it was essentially crowdsourced. The community raised it on his behalf, but where does it go and why?
We went to the town of New Hartford.
Why?
As a charitable, because the people wanted to do that as a charitable contribution, as far as helping him out. But he had nothing to do. He had nothing to do with it. And the problem I have is that the district attorney's office is calling it restitution. It's not restitution. No. Restitution connotes that you're paying back money that you stole.
Right.
He didn't steal anything. As a matter of fact, they owe him money because they never gave him his vacation pay or his compensation pay or anything, okay? So I was upset with that characterization that they put in at the last minute when they served me with a motion the night before we went to court, so that,
Frank, tell me more
they
about...
mischaracterized it.
Tell me more about that motion, because you were upset about that as well for the 11th hour.
Well, basically, when you make a motion to dismiss in the interest of justice, there's several factors that the judge has to consider. So they go through all the factors, and they say the evidence of guilt was strong. He stole money. He made Well, first of all, the evidence of guilt is not strong, okay?
There's no evidence.
No, there's no evidence that he had any criminal intent. The district attorney reads his motion in open court saying, well, you know, he was not at the scene of the job, which has nothing to do with it, you know? So the question was, did he have any intent to do something wrong that he knew was wrong? And the answer to that is unequivocally no, and that was established by their own evidence when they interrogated him for 4.5 hours, admitting that they knew he didn't think he was doing anything wrong.
So, what was the deal that you had worked out? Because we're calling it a deal, but if it's a dismissal, that's not really a deal. And what I'm getting at was the 6,100.
Whoa,
go
stop.
ahead. Go ahead.
If you make a dismissal, it's part of a deal, okay?
Well, what are you giving up? What are you giving up?
That doesn't have nothing to do with a deal.
That's why I'm saying it's not a deal.
Yes, it is a deal.
Okay.
You make a deal with the prosecutor to dismiss the case.
Charges.
If you don't make the deal, you don't get the case dismissed. You can make all kinds of deals. So let's get on the same page here.
Okay, but so Frank, but as we're talking about this, you're saying he did nothing wrong. The $6,100 was not restitution. The charges were dismissed because he didn't commit a crime. In order for there to be a deal, your side has to give something up, right? I mean, that's with a deal. Two sides make a deal.
That's not true.
Go ahead.
You're just wrong. I can't say anything. I can't make it any clearer to you.
Well, when you're saying it's okay,
otherwise,
Frank, in a court context, look, I know you're a lawyer, you know more about this than I do, but I'm confused. Usually, if you have a court case and you make a deal with the prosecutor, the one side says, okay, we will agree to plead to a lesser charge. In exchange, you reduce the charges, we come up with a fixed sentence or something like that. If he didn't commit a crime and didn't do anything wrong, you shouldn't have made a deal then.
Well, they should have indicted him then. If you want, the deal was this: you dismiss the case, or we go to trial. That's the deal.
Okay.
Mr. Policelli, it's Steve Cully. Great to talk with you again.
It's not a deal.
No, I talked with him again. No, it's not a deal because the prosecution dropped the charges. And Mr. Policelli, my question is, did they drop the charges with prejudice?
Absolutely.
So there it is. They dropped it with prejudice, which means he can't be charged again. There was no deal because they dropped the charges. A deal would be he would take, like we talked about, the probation. Yeah, well, no, we talked about it on Monday when Katie Aiello said he would take the probation or whatever, but because he couldn't be here for it to accept the deal, that is why the charges were going to be dropped. But as Mr. Policelli said, the case was meritless from the start.
Frank, I really appreciate you calling in to give us the update. Let me ask you, what happens next from here? I know there's some uncertainty with that, right?
Well, my job effectively is done. I beat the case. The case was dismissed. Now he's got to deal with immigration. And the reason why I wanted the case dismissed on the merits was because now he has no criminal record if he does get deported, because they're saying he was voluntarily being deported. That's a lie. He never voluntarily said he wanted to go to Mexico. And if ICE told that to the district attorney's office, ICE lied. But we're used to ICE lying anyway. So if he goes back and gets deported, he could apply to come back into the country because he has no criminal record.
Hey, Frank, so are you going to continue to try to reach out to the immigration lawyer, or are you just going to kind of say, hey, I did my job to the best of my ability in regards to whatever it is, and, it is what it is?
Well, I'm done for doing what I got paid to do, okay? However, I'm staying in touch with the family because I do, and I just don't do this for the money, okay? So I'm helping the family out because the other reason why I was concerned about the dismissal in this case is because I don't want them to be prejudiced in the event they want to bring a civil lawsuit against the people that caused all this damage.
What do you think there's a good chance that that's going to happen?
Here's the problem. The family has been so terrorized by ICE, they're scared. They're scared of ICE. ICE just committed 2 murders of 2 Mexicans last week. They murdered 2 people in Minneapolis before. The Constitution doesn't seem to apply to them. There's no due process when it comes to deportation hearings. I'm going to put them in touch with some lawyers I know in New York City that are involved with immigration and deportation issues. They do have a lawyer that's representing them now, and if he was going to voluntarily want to go back to Mexico, I think that lawyer that's representing them now on immigration would be aware of that. So their issue right now is to see if they could keep him from being deported. At the same time, I think that his children and his wife could very well have a civil cause of action against the people that caused this injustice in the first place.
Yeah, I could see that. It seems to make sense. Should we... You said murder, that ICE was responsible for 2 recent murders. Is it too soon to be throwing things around like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Cully's mic on? Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Policelli, you also mentioned he is having issues because being detained by ICE, you said he's technically not considered an American citizen. He's not afforded the same rights as an American citizen, and that has been kind of a barrier for you having communication.
Steve, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Whether you're an American citizen or not doesn't matter as far as the 14th Amendment is concerned. And I mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. When the 14th Amendment was enacted in 1868, they took out the word citizens and put in the word person. No person should be denied due process. And you know who did that was Roscoe Conklin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
Utica Zone.
That's
Utica
terrible.
Zone, for sure.
Yes.
Attorney Frank Policelli, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and the updates on this case. I know that this was one a lot of people were paying attention to for many different reasons, but we appreciate your time and the information. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Good talking with you.
You too. Listen, sometimes Frank and I yell at each other, or as I like to say, Frank yells at me. But as long as we get the information out, it's always good to have him on the show. A very knowledgeable guy, to say the least.
He's
Frank
one of
is
the best.
extremely knowledgeable in the law, and whether you agree or disagree, he'll certainly argue his case and represent his client. That's for sure.
He's supposed to, with zealous.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll break for news here at 7:58 at WIBX.
Patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they're now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Another night of American bombing in Iran. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, the 12th consecutive night.
It looks like they're not ready to make a deal, so they're going to continue to pay a price. And every night the price gets higher and higher and higher.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio at a regional summit in the Philippines. U.S. Central Command said in a statement they hit more military targets, trying to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten ships in the Strait of Hormuz. But as Fox's Jonathan Savage reports, it's not just Iran and not just the Strait being targeted now.
Houthi rebels in Yemen are trying to stop Saudi Arabian ships from using the Red Sea. The Iran-backed group says it struck 2 Saudi oil tankers yesterday. The near closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran has meant the Yemeni side of the Arabian Peninsula has become ever more important. 8 other tankers have chosen to avoid that area in recent days.
And oil prices continue to surge, rising another 4% today. WTI back over $90 a barrel, a 6-week high, driving the price at the gas pump higher, up 15 cents the past week. But President Trump said at a Republican rally in Marietta, Georgia,
I just want you to remember that if you're paying a little bit more, a lot of it's come down now.
touting the June drop in inflation.
So the latest Fox News poll shows about 75% of voters say inflation has caused them financial hardship. The president, who campaigned on the economy, now receiving negative marks on the issue, with 65% saying they disapprove of his performance.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. As the U.S. keeps battling Iran with the goal of preventing them from having a nuclear weapon, the Trump administration's worked out a much different nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia to help them develop nuclear power. Energy Secretary Chris Wright tells Fox Business,
Saudi Arabia has been an ally of the United States since the nation's forming, and I'm thrilled in our efforts and where this is going. This will be top level, highest standards for nuclear safety and safeguards.
It would pave the way for the Saudis to enrich uranium for nuclear energy, but that'll be under scrutiny from lawmakers. Congress would have to approve the agreement. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most. Does it work? And can you trust it? Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Chris has spent years doing physical work, leaving his feet sore at the end of the day. After starting Relief Factor, he felt so good he did something he'd never done before. He ran a half marathon. Now he tells all his friends about Relief Factor. I've got back issues. I've been taking Relief Factor every single morning for years. Without it, the back problems come back. They make it easy to find if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor gave you your life back. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be soon sharing your story with us too. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF.
The White House Correspondents' Dinner is back on tomorrow night after the first one was interrupted by gunshots in April when an armed man tried to force his way in, attempting to assassinate the president among the charges he's facing.
The number of threats against protectees is as high as Secret Service Director Sean Curran says he's ever seen in his 24-year career, but says the agency will always get the president where he needs to go.
It's important to note that the president has been back to the Hilton since. We have done massive, major events since.
Those include President Trump's attendance at the NBA Finals and World Cup Final.
We can't shut down an entire community when we have an event. It's our job to understand that site and to mitigate the threat.
At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
June 1st next year. That's when ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro will go on trial in New York City, along with his wife, Celia Flores. That was set at a short hearing yesterday. Fox's Brian Yennis was there.
They were both wearing brown prison outfits. They were not restrained. Maduro looked noticeably thinner and was taking notes. Maduro and Flores face federal cocaine trafficking and weapons charges. Maduro also faces a narco-terrorism charge. If convicted, they face up to life in prison.
Maduro claims he's a political prisoner of war after he and his wife were captured in a U.S. military raid. In Louisiana, the state's Attorney General Liz Murrell's off the hook, no longer facing a criminal trial.
After a special prosecutor dropped the felony charges, Murrell was indicted on accusations of threatening the jobs of New Orleans officials who fought a Republican overhaul of courts in the city, which is heavily Democrat.
It's not over, and it's not because I'm angry. It's not because any of us want to retaliate against anybody. It's because what they did, it can now be weaponized and used against other people.
The indictment from a New Orleans grand jury accused Murrell of intimidation and malfeasance. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down big. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Some sunshine, 59 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Utica City School Board voting not to renew the contract of current superintendent Dr. Christopher Spence. His contract is originally to continue through August of 2027. However, he is currently on leave. During last night's meeting, 4 members, Hobaika, Cooper, Nana, and Paul, voted to not renew Spence's contract. Howard Potter voted no, and Padula and Knoop were not at the meeting. Spence is currently on leave, and Kathleen Davis has been filling in as superintendent in his absence. A New York State court officer accused of taking intimate photos of a woman without her consent, James Madera, has been charged with felony unlawful surveillance. Authorities say that he took photos of the woman without her knowledge. A few other details have been given. Madera is a former prison guard at Marcy Correctional Facility and was recently hired by New York State courts as a court officer. The Utica Children's Museum inviting the community to enjoy an evening of fun, food, and family with the Happiest Hour, a new fundraising event taking place next Wednesday at 7 Hamlet's Brewing Company in Westmoreland. It'll happen from 4 until 7. Tickets are $45 for adults, $25 for kids, and 2 and under are free. The event will feature lawn games, a mobile miniature golf setup, 2 bounce houses, the mobile museum, and much more. Tickets available online, uticachildrensmuseum.org. Right now, we have some sunshine and 59 degrees at 8:07.
We'll continue to look at some great weather as it continues to stay fairly cool here. The next couple of mornings, actually, for this time of year, not bad at all. This morning, a little patchy fog and cool and comfortable. This afternoon, sunshine, 77. Tonight, mainly clear. Lows will be in the low 50s, so yes, North Country in the 40s. Friday, sunshine, low 80s. Over the weekend, sunshine, a little bit warmer. Highs both days, right around 85. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stage at WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Sunshine and 59 at 8:08. From the IDEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Yankees win and lose. Mets lose. The Yankees split their doubleheader against the Pirates yesterday, dropping the first game 5-3 before bouncing back with a 2-0 victory in the nightcap. The Bombers have won 3 out of 4. They visit the Phillies for a 3-game series that starts tomorrow. The Mets were topped by the Brewers in Milwaukee 4-3 in the rubber match. Christian Scott took the loss. The Mets lose 2 out of 3 in the series. They host the Dodgers for a 3-game series that starts tomorrow at Citi Field. Tonight, the Dodgers will be in D.C. at the White House, celebrating their most recent World Series victory. The Red Sox won their 15th straight, then lost. They played a doubleheader yesterday as well. They won the first game 6-3, but lost the nightcap 5-1, snapping their 15-game winning streak. The O's, meanwhile, snap a 2-game skid. And Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt says the team's new stadium will stay one of the toughest road environments in the NFL. Hunt releasing renderings of the team's new domed stadium in Kansas, saying it will be built for noise. The 70,000-seat venue is expected to open in 2031 at a cost of $3 billion. I have questions. How much money will the state of Kansas be donating toward the cause? I'm curious. Also, what's wrong with Arrowhead now? Is it falling apart or something? I don't know. They're moving because their lease is up, but I think the stadium is fine, isn't it?
It's one of the older stadiums, and if I am correct, I believe the new stadium is actually going to have less seating, just like the Bills are, and the tickets are going to be higher priced. They're going to be more luxury seats and PSL.
This, I'm telling you, this is becoming an elite club that you are not a part of.
Yeah, I mean,
you and me and all of us here.
Absolutely.
It's like college, 80 to 100,000 people a game. The NFL's cutting down.
The next thing is that the idea that you're going to be able to watch NFL games for free at some point in time.
Yeah, that's
going to be gone too.
It's wild to me. For promotion of the sport, again, you would think you would want to. I mean, look at FIFA. All these tournament games were on Fox. That's free TV. If you have a digital antenna, you could stream it online. Was it Tubi was playing the games for free? I believe it was streaming free on YouTube. If not, it was on X.
Well, it's just crazy how it's becoming. You know, they're trying to monetize absolutely everything possible. And what's going on in Portland right now, the Portland Trailblazers, they are trying to get a new arena built to play, and the Portland, I believe it's the town council, they agreed to give $365 million in funding to help build this arena.
Yeah.
However, they want like an accounting of how the money is going to be used.
Yeah.
The owner refuses to do it.
Yeah.
So they're at a standstill right now about this stadium that's supposed to start construction because Portland the owner refuses to say how they're going to use the money. They're like, oh, we don't know. You know, we're going to figure it out. Well, we'll let you know.
Real quick to follow up, GEHA Field, which is Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
76,416. So there will be a slight reduction in capacity with the new stadium, with a capacity of 70,000.
Well, they're also one of the few that play on grass, which is huge.
Yeah, well, that'll be that's going to be gone if they're going with a dome stadium, right?
It depends if it's retractable or not, but most teams,
yeah.
Sure.
Well, and the problem too is the communities themselves are the ones that get stuck with the care and feeding of these stadiums. You know, the teams will hold a gun to the town's head and say, you know, if you don't build this new stadium,
we're moving.
We're moving.
Yeah.
So, you know, when everything has to be fixed and whatever it is, that's on the town's, the city's dime.
Well, look at the Chicago Bears. They could move to Indiana.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
They are moving to Indiana, aren't they?
It's not official, I don't believe.
Yeah, but they're trying to say it's not that long a trip.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I agree. As a fan of the New Jersey Giants, I absolutely agree that it's not that far of a trip, and we can still be branded the New York Giants even if we play in New Jersey.
San Francisco, they're way out there in regards to where they play, in regards to their stadium.
Yeah, they moved, and I believe Washington also bought a plot of land to build a stadium on, but they have been unable to, which is unfortunate.
So getting back to televised games and how much it costs to be a fan of in particular, in this case, the NFL, there's a couple of weird things I notice going on right now. I really think the system is kind of broken. And Cully, I think you can shed some light on this. First of all, we talk about the, well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Get ready to turn his mic off if I give you the hand signal. But, you know, we talk about this where fans, I feel like, are getting beat over the head. Smitty used to be able to get tickets for free to go to training camp, but now that's a privilege that's only being extended to season ticket holders. How many people can theoretically afford to be season ticket holders? We talk about, a lot of games and primetime games for a long time have been. I know Monday Night Football was on ESPN, but have been on free TV. You get your games on NBC, CBS, and Fox. But now it's like these streaming services get a lot of games now, which if you're not a subscriber, you have to pay. I know in today's day and age, most people are subscribers of Netflix or Hulu or Apple TV, whatever the case might be. But I guess really what I'm getting at is, and this maybe isn't a great analogy because I understand radio isn't what it used to be, and then you have streaming radio services as well, like
podcasting.
XM. Well, no, not podcasts.
I know what you're talking about.
But, the idea is, do you want to have a huge audience and charge sponsors for the privilege for access to that audience, or do you want to take less money from sponsors and instead charge a fee to your individual users? You understand what I'm saying? Like with satellite radio, and theoretically you have less advertising because the user is kind of paying to support the service, the system, the salaries, etc. So I don't know.
But the prices have gone up. Like if you want Netflix without commercials,
yeah,
it's like $18 a month now. I mean, there's commercials on Peacock. You got to pay extra to get the service without commercials.
Where I'm going, though, like with personal seating licenses.
Oh, the PSLs.
That's just for the privilege of buying a season ticket? That gets you nothing?
Exactly.
That's pretty insane.
To get a seat.
The NFL, at this point in time, feels that there is no ceiling. I think that they just feel like the money is just going to continue and continue and continue till it doesn't continue. I mean, that's why I'm not call it, and I know you played, in the NFL in Europe or whatever it is and whatever. It drives me crazy that, they've got all these games now in Europe in regards to it. And what is it? I mean, they're not going to set up teams there, but they're going to sell a lot of merch. They're going to get a lot of eyes. The other thing the NFL is going to be doing soon is they're going to get this one more game that they're going to squeeze that in, that 18th game.
Yep.
And, woe be to the players who are already, it's like the baton death march by the time they get to the Super Bowl, the guys that are left.
Yeah, it's a war of attrition.
And you add one more game like this without more players, I mean, it's a rough sport.
Roger Goodell wants to have every team play a game overseas.
I know.
That's his goal eventually. And the games overseas end up being a nightmare because you travel early, you get over there, then you have to come back and get ready to play your next game on a short week. The games that are played in Europe are traditionally horrible.
Well, and it's
time zone change.
It's one thing for them. It's one thing for them playing in London, which is 5 hours. They're going to be playing in Australia this year.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's 12 hours.
I think Brazil. I mean,
it's a 20-hour flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a record, I think, 9 international games on the schedule for the NFL this year, and it only seems to be growing year after year. And when I mentioned like those personal seating licenses, if you have to buy a PSL to be a Bills season ticket holder, and they play a home game that's not in Buffalo,
you lost it.
Yeah, they don't give you a chunk of, let's say the personal seating license is $10,000.
Yeah.
And you have 8 home games. What's that? Roughly $1,200 per game. You don't get $1,200 back.
Those games, those European games, not only hurt I think it's not great as a fan. Although maybe some people they can watch 7 in the morning, they can watch a game, but all the vendors, all the hotels.
That's usually about the time I have my first beer.
All the hotels, all the economic development in regards to losing that game is huge for communities.
Because there's only, like you said, 8 home games.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, the Patriots played overseas. They did a walkthrough at a town park.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get to a stadium to do their walkthrough for pregame.
Yeah,
they did it at town park. It's a mess.
We talk about all this, and in the backdrop of that, and Cully, this is what I think you can shed some light on here. Did I see yesterday that a quarterback turned down a $10 million NIL offer from Ohio State? Excuse me, I said it wrong. The Ohio State University?
Yeah, I mean, that's
$10 million. There are quarterbacks in the NFL not making $10 million.
That's what it's coming down to these days.
Is the NFL going to become like a beer league? There's so much money in college sports that starters, for instance, at Ohio State could get more money than quarterbacks on NFL rosters. The NFL is a beer league now?
Why do you think guys in college have been trying to stay 6 years, 7 years? There's a guy who got a 9th year of eligibility. They want to make as much money as possible, and they get paid more than rookie salaries unless you're a top first round, second round pick. If you're third round and down,
the signing bonus is significantly smaller,
and you won't get annihilated like you are your first year in the NFL, where
you can make more money in college.
Yeah,
that's wild. Look, I don't fault the student athletes. I don't know if we can even call them student athletes anymore.
The employees.
I hate it
because I'd say you take it where you can get it. I mean, if I was in that situation, I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing. If I get an extra $2 million to stay in college as opposed to go play in the NFL, I don't know how you can criticize them for doing that. But certainly, I think the system is broken and needs some correction.
The problem is, I was a college coach for 10 years. I coached at Holy Cross. we addressed this problem, I believe it was 2015. We said eventually the players are going to be paid because it was right after the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit. Ed O'Bannon won, and we were paid for video games, for the video games.
Oh, okay. You were paid?
Yeah, I got paid.
No
I was in Madden. I was in college football. Yeah.
You were?
Yeah. I was in 4 college NCAA games, and I was in 2 Madden games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I get that. Yeah, because the NFL Europe teams were part of it. So yes. So we knew that the players were going to end up getting paid. The coaches had a chance. The athletic directors, the presidents, they had a chance to put some guardrails on the payments, and they didn't. So then the House versus the NCAA lawsuit goes to court. The Supreme Court unanimously laughs at the NCAA, and I believe it was a unanimous 9-0 vote in favor of the players that they could make money off name, image, and likeness.
Sure.
Now, when it first started out, guys made, someone made $50,000, that was considered great. Now, if you're a Power 4 conference team and you want to be competitive, your roster is costing between $40 and $50 million. And if you are a top quarterback, you're getting paid traditionally between $6 and $8 million.
That's wild.
So for someone to turn down 10, I didn't see if it was a freshman who would be coming in or a transfer who would be coming in, because that also makes a difference.
So now we're going to go from one problem right into another.
And they also agreed 5 years for 5 years. So now players can come in and play for 5 years. There's no redshirting. There's no medical red shirts. There's nothing. You have 5 years to play 5 years, and it's based on age. It starts at 18, 19, whenever you graduate high school, you have 5 years from there to play. So because of COVID, because of all these roster exemptions that players were getting, freshmen have lost opportunities, lost scholarship opportunities. So they're trying to rectify it.
Jawick Online says Jeff knows nothing about King Cully. No, I know you played in NFL Europe. I just didn't know that.
Jawick, I'm not a king. I'm a pauper.
You were part of this settlement for...
Well, everyone was.
Essentially name, image, and likeness because you were in the video games. I did not know that.
Well, Ed O'Bannon pushed the lawsuit. It was a class action lawsuit for the video games. And if you wanted to be a part of it, everyone who basically played college football or college basketball during those years got a letter from the attorney representing him. And it depended on, obviously, who you were, what team you played for, if you were productive or not. And for college, that's what you got paid for. That was only for college football. The NFL, I was paid separately because I was on NFL Europe teams. Madden.
A big reason, one of the reasons that there is so much more money in college sports nowadays today is because of gambling. And joining us now from the Siena Research Institute is Travis Broadbeck to talk about a poll that looked at New Yorkers' feelings toward online sports betting here in the state of New York. Good morning, Travis. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Very good. So what were you looking to answer with this latest survey from Siena?
Yeah, we were trying to look at the overall prevalence of sports gambling across the state, how people were placing bets, and also the overall public attitudes towards the sports betting industry.
So what did you find out?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's not only just what we find across New York State, it's actually the differences that we see between men and women, people under the age of 50 versus people over the age of 50, and bettors and non-bettors. So to kind of take you at a high level, around 1 in 4 New Yorkers say that they placed a bet of any size with anyone on the outcome of a sporting event in the last year. And when you look at the differences between men and women, you see around 4 in 10 men, 37%, have placed a bet, versus just 14% of women, so around 1 in 10 women there. And you see the same relationship between people under 50 years old. Around a third of young people have placed a bet in the last year versus just 1 in 10 of folks over the age of 50. And the thing that's concerning is the concentration of betting behavior. We looked at men under the age of 50, and half of that group told us that they placed a bet on a sport event in the last year. Now, what's interesting about that is how people place bets. 84% of our bettors say they use online sports books. And you think about your DraftKings, your FanDuels, your Bet365.
Right.
But half still place bets with friends or family, 4 in 10 with casinos. But the interesting part here is sports betting has been legal in the state for multiple years. But 1 in 4 of our bettors are still using bookies.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You know what it is? You know what the bookie can offer that the sports book can't, and you probably know this, Travis, is credit. I'll pay you next Tuesday.
Or I was thinking anonymity.
Anonymity is
that one,
what you're looking for, yeah. Well, so you're saying maybe you wouldn't have to pay taxes when you win?
Well, no, like if I'm a player for UConn, I want to place a bet.
I understand what you're saying.
I can go through a bookie and protect myself.
Yeah. You talked about, Travis, the numbers under 50. It was like 50% of men under the age of 50. I bet if you went under the age of 30, it's probably upwards of 65% of men. This is certainly more popular among the younger generation.
Absolutely. I'm a faculty member at Siena University, and I actually, during class, catch my students placing bets when we're talking about accounting concepts.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I'm not surprised. Listen, another thing that you looked at in this survey was, do people think it's good or bad? And I think a majority, no, not a majority, 39%, I believe, say it's bad for the state of New York. And I think that means what? The individuals who live here, right?
Yes, and overall, if you think about, the various benefits and disadvantages of sports betting, we do national studies on this as well, where a lot of people talk about it's fun, it keeps them engaged, but they also talk about some of the disadvantages, such as the harms from sports gambling, and so the addiction that comes with it. So people, kind of take this question in any way they want to, but you're right, 39% said they think this is bad for New York, where only 23% say this is good for New York. But when you look at bettors, half of bettors, 49%, say, I think that online sports gambling is good for the state, versus just 14% of non-bettors. So there is a major divide when you look at people who are engaged in these behaviors and their perceptions on the benefits and disadvantages, and people who are not engaged.
Can I ask a question, please? I was just curious. Your thoughts on the Brendan Sorsby situation that happened at Texas Tech. He was caught gambling over several years, deemed ineligible by the NCAA, and now he's going to have to wait until the 2027 draft to play in the NFL. Just your thoughts about his situation, how he placed bets when he played at Indiana during his redshirt season, and it was held against him.
Yeah, I think. Oh,
go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
I think this is actually part of some of the concerns that we have, that New Yorkers have expressed to us in our poll, where they think this, when we have these constant remarks of sports gambling and potential bets in live games, that they think this is going to be bad for sports. 52% of New Yorkers say that this constant echo of odds and gambling bets is a problem. So I think, that pressure that you see as a viewer is also being passed down to our athletes as well.
Travis Broadback is with Siena. Tim?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things is we need to remember places like FanDuel and whatever it is. These are for-profit organizations, and there's a reason why they're in the business. And it doesn't surprise me that the gamblers feel like, I always win. They're in business because ultimately people lose. So.
Yeah. Ultimately, people do lose, and I guess this is the part where I scratch my head, and this wasn't covered in there, Travis, but you can comment on it if you like. I just quickly looked up $1.3 billion in tax revenue from sports betting for New York State, $145 million in state tax revenue for from marijuana in New York State, and the state is facing a projected $34 billion budget gap. So I don't know how we fix that problem. I don't know what we have to legalize next.
What next vice that we have to get after?
I don't know. Travis, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Very interesting.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
That is Travis Broadbeck from the Siena Research Institute. Imagine that, $34 billion in debt. I just remember before sports betting was legal, before marijuana was legal, it'd be like, oh, you know how much money the state would make? You know, taxes would go down. They would get so much revenue if they just legalized this. And now they've done both, and the budget gap is as big as it's ever been.
It's so funny because one of the things he did cover in here was people over 62, the vast majority are opposed to sports betting. I mean, I'm of an age in regards to it that, like, the two worst things were in regards to it was gambling and drugs. And now somehow we figured out a way to legalize both of them, and it seems like we're in a bigger mess.
Well, I guess because they're legal now, I would say I'm for certain drugs and I'm for certain kinds of gambling. You know, I've expressed concerns many times about artificial intelligence. And our next guest is Eben Brown from Fox News Radio, where there is a school in the state of New York that has an AI robot teacher. I'm not kidding. Eben Brown joins us now to tell us about it. Good morning, Eben.
Good morning. Good morning.
An actual AI robot teacher in the classroom. Is that right?
A teaching assistant, I think, might be a better way to say it.
Okay.
The company that makes it called the company that makes it called WIBX out of Toronto says it's not designed to replace teachers. It's designed to kind of alleviate some of the workload for teachers by having, providing one-on-one tutoring for students. So if there's a student who needs extra help on something, and if the teacher has to, currently if the teacher has to stop the progression of a classroom lesson to tend to this one student, that's not good for, the efficiency of the classroom. But if that student could go off to the corner with the robot and work on, understanding this math problem or whatever it is, then maybe that's something that could be helpful. So this robot called Sally resembles a young female teacher, but doesn't move, sits in a chair, has upper body movement, arm movement, facial gestures and expressions, and can have conversations with these students and actually remember the students and pick up where conversations left off and so on. So it is quote unquote smart. Company also says there's no facial recognition technology, so parents don't have to worry about kids' images being on the internet or anything like that. But is it strange? It may be. This may be kind of Twilight Zone material here, but AI is not going away. Neither is robotics, and so maybe this is a way to have it do some good. Whether or not it works out, we don't know. It's a pilot program, so we'll see how things go in a few months. I guess.
Yeah, neither is also not going anywhere. Sports betting or marijuana. But let me ask you, the humanoid robot teacher's assistant, I guess, what's the cost on this? And do we know what school? Have they said what school?
It's the high school. It's the high school on the Seneca Nation territory, south of Buffalo. And interestingly enough,
paid for by gambling money.
Probably, yeah. But it costs about $60,000 per robot.
$60,000 per robot.
So I don't know how much New York State is paying teaching assistants these days over how many of a career, but maybe it could be a cost saver. If I were a teaching assistant, especially if I were one in a union, I'd be asking a lot of questions. But what's interestingly enough is that they've given this robot a Western New York accent. So, so I guess that's a way to localize things a bit, right? I've had to explain this to, stations in the Deep South. This robot will not drink coffee, but will drink coffee.
Yes.
And
it will drink pop, not soda.
It'll drink pop, not soda, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Fox News Radio's Eben Brown, I appreciate your time. You said a pilot program, and when you say that, you mean experimental, right? This is not a in lieu of taxes program. This is an experimental, we'll see how this goes. An experimental
program, if you're asking who's footing the bill in any way, that I couldn't tell you. It's happening on an Indian territory, which changed the rules a bit with who's paying for what, because it's Indian territory. So, but let's just say something like this proves to be worthwhile, and school districts want to pursue it. Then it would be a budget expenditure for sure.
Yeah. All right, Fox News Radio's Eben Brown. Thank you very much.
Yeah. At the end, she says, "Go Bills."
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. So our man Uncle Smitty, like I owed him money from a gambling debt, is telling me he's either going to break my leg or we need to take a break. I'm not sure which, but we'll do that now and come back with more on WIBX.
This is Bill Keeler, and I have to tell you, my family relies on New York Sash, and we have several times when it comes to home improvement, and so have so many members of our family. And right now, there's an awesome time for you to take advantage of what New York Sash has to offer with their America 250 sale as they celebrate America's 250th with an amazing opportunities here. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 1 free. 4, get 2 free. 10, get 5 free. The list goes on. There's no limit. Plus, you'll save 50% off expert bath installation. And here's the biggie. This is huge. Qualified buyers can receive 0% financing for 25 months, making it easier for you to do it now and not use the maybe next year excuse. It's time to do it now. It's New York Sash. Go to NewYorkSash.com for details. Call them 624-7344 or visit them on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York Sash.
Step away from the screen and into something real at the 2026 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater just minutes from Cooperstown.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts overlooking beautiful Otsego Lake, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs July 10th through August 17th and explores our American journey through iconic musical theater and beloved opera classics. A gripping story of forbidden love, political intrigue and yearning, Fellow Travelers is one of the most talked about new American operas of the past decade.
The Glimmerglass Festival. No filters, no algorithms, just unforgettable performances and a perfect summer's day by the lake with world-class opera and musical theater, just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Experience live music, live voices, and live storytelling. No scrolling required. Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and learn more. Then put down the phone, close the laptop, and join us for real connections at the festival.
Megan, what are families snapping up off the lot this month?
The 2026 Kia Carnival Hybrid.
The 7 or 8 passenger hybrid MPV?
That's right. Get 1.9 APR financing for 48 months.
Plus, if you serve or have served in the U.S. military, receive an additional $500 military rebate.
And it gets an amazing 35 miles per gallon combined.
Wow, 35 miles per gallon on all-wheel drive SUV. Imagine the fuel savings.
Exactly.
Make that short drive to save.
Go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia. Puppies and babies not included.
0.9% APR with well-qualified credit through KMF. $1,667 per month per $1,000 financed. $720 plus FICO score. In lieu of rebates. Offer expires 8/3/2026.
Destination Kia.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
Workdays work better with food. And not just any food, the good stuff. That's why there's Easy Cater, the workplace food platform where you can order from a huge variety of great restaurants for any group size, anytime, anywhere, all in one place. Whether it's gourmet deli trays for the client meeting, spicy noodles for the night shift, tacos for the weekend crew, or a big box of brownies to tell your team, thank you. Just use Easy Cater, one platform to feed them all and feed them well. Start an order at easycater.com.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors, available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com. WIBX950.com.
We think every kid should get started on the right foot or right feet. This is Bill Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM is partnering with Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield to help local kids in need get new kicks for a new school year. We call it Kicks for Kids. Go to WIBX950.com or the WIBX 950 app. Click on Kicks for Kids, and the Neighborhood Center will get the shoes to the kids. It's easy to give. Kicks for Kids from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield and WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
It is 8:40. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaske. Iran says it will keep attacking targets in the Middle East as long as it remains under attack. An army spokesperson made the televised comments as the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen have started attacking Saudi Arabian shipping in the Red Sea. Meanwhile, the U.S. has attacked Iranian targets for a 12th consecutive night since the ceasefire fell apart. A deadly police shooting is drawing protests in Wisconsin. Police say officers responded to a call near downtown Madison on Wednesday afternoon about a suspect who was reportedly checking car doors and had gotten into a struggle with a man when an officer shot and killed him. Protesters are now calling for the officer who fired the shots to be arrested. Tropical storm Bertha on its way to Texas. The National Hurricane Center says Bertha is now about 145 miles west-southwest of New Orleans, moving toward East Texas with sustained winds of 45 miles an hour. A tropical storm warning is in effect along the coast from south of New Orleans to just west of Houston. The Department of Education is investigating 5 medical schools for allegedly promoting diversity in their admissions. The department said Wednesday that it is investigating medical schools at Dartmouth, East Carolina, St. Louis, Western University, and William Carey for alleged racial discrimination. And a group of New York City landlords is suing to stop a new rent freeze pushed by Mayor Mamdani. The city's Rent Guidelines Board recently voted to approve the freeze on some leases in rent-stabilized apartments. The suit argues that the board cherry-picked data to downplay costs for landlords who are forced to deal with inflation. And the FDA still trying to find the source of the gastrointestinal illness that's giving thousands of people explosive diarrhea. I'm sorry, that's the word they used here, not me. More than 70 new cases were reported this week. A previous warning linking the illness to lettuce has been retracted after the results turned out to be a false positive. Cyclosporialysis is what it's called. Right now we have cloudy skies, 62 degrees at 8:43.
We'll continue to look at some great weather as it continues to stay fairly cool here. The next couple of mornings, actually, for this time of year, not bad at all. This morning, a little patchy fog and cool and comfortable. This afternoon, sunshine, 77. Tonight, mainly clear. Lows will be in the low 50s, so yes, North Country in the 40s. Friday, sunshine, low 80s. Over the weekend, sunshine, a little bit warmer. Highs both days, right around 85. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
And we do have some sunshine, 62 degrees at 8:43. We'll go back to the phone lines where some crazy screaming nurse is waiting on the other end. Good morning, Donna. How are you?
I am crazy. You know that.
I'm just teasing. You are a screaming nurse also. A screaming nurse, a singing nurse.
Donna Ray.
Yes.
Oh, she likes me.
Well.
No, she does. Who is that?
That's
Donna. It's Steve Cully, Trisha's friend.
I love Steve. He does a great podcast. Oh, yeah.
And what did
she great.
She said you do a great podcast. Turn your headphones up. You want to take over this interview? Go right ahead.
No,
please do it.
Donna Ray, Screaming Nurses. Do you have any gigs this weekend?
We're playing tonight, Steve. I want everybody to come out tonight to the Paris Hill Barn and Cafe. That's at 2817 Old State Road, Route 12 in Sequoia. It's behind the church. We are going to make some money for the church because Screaming Nurse will give it all to the church.
Yeah, you always do it for great causes, and you support so many nonprofit organizations. How has this summer been for you guys? Have you been busy pretty much all summer?
We have been busy. We've been doing a little bit here, a little bit there, helping everybody out. this tonight is a big one because we want to make sure that, everybody has fun, which they're gonna. The potluck starts at 5:30 to 6:30. And I think if you don't bring any food, but you bring your utensils, it's only $5 to get in. Root beer floats are $1. The band's us, Screaming Nurse,
Yes.
rock and roll. We start 6:30 to 7:30. And while we're talking about a great cause, we have a huge benefit birthday for a 13-year-old boy Sunday. This Sunday coming up, the 26th, at the Oneida Legion. It's for Bentley. And if anybody can go, if you can't go, if you want to send them a gift, this poor child from January this year, well, let me first say, he was in athletics. He did everything, this kid. And then in January, they found that he had some kind of fluid in his brain. Yeah. He had a surgery, and it was unsuccessful. He had to do it all over again, this poor child, drilling into his head. So now he really can't do anything for the rest of the year. Hopefully this surgery is going to be okay, but they need to cover medical bills and, what have you. And there's a lot. When you're going through all this medical stuff, that there's a lot of expenses.
Where's the party at?
It's over at the Oneida Legion, right over on West Main Street in Oneida, across from the Dollar General Plaza.
Okay.
And it starts at 1.
Okay.
1 to 5. So Coronasaurus, they're a 3-guy band. They do rock and roll and all kinds of fun stuff. They're the greatest.
Yeah.
I called them up. Can you help us? Absolutely. So they're going to start off at 1:15, play for an hour. Screaming Nurse Rock and Roll is going to play from like 2:15 or so to about 3:30 or so. And then the rest of the day, there's food. There's a cornhole competition. Yep. There's birthday cake. We've got one of our fans making a birthday cake for Bentley. Lots of raffles. We've got from Kate's characters, Steve Swift face painting.
God, you already sold
me. He does
me.
a great job. Well, and this is sponsored. I got to tell you what. We were going to be in a big hole because we had to hire a sound system. So Dave LeCaig, he's got a sound system production company. He gave us a great price, and I called up Nye Automotive, and I talked to the new GM, and I said, Mike, I know you don't know me, but, I got this kid that really needs help. He said, we're in.
Yeah.
So we're starting at nothing in the hole. We're evened out, and whatever we make goes to Met.
Oh, that's
right
beautiful. No overhead.
Oh, it's excellent. No overhead.
Are
Just fun.
Tricia and Eddie coming tonight?
I don't know. I haven't talked to them.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
That's your
I'm
job.
hoping they will.
That's your job.
Yeah, I hope.
You need
I
to
would
talk
love
to them
see everybody.
and ask them if they are going, and then tell Tricia that she needs to pick Steven up.
Oh, I know.
Do
Steve
that?
wants to. Well,
Yeah.
Steve wants to go, and Stefan wants to go. Stefan is one of our.
No, you don't have to bring
in the
Stefan.
crew.
You can just bring
Oh
me.
yeah, yeah. All right, I'll send a message to Tricia.
You
and Eddie,
tell Tricia
but-
she's got to stop ignoring me and pick me up, and we're going to go out tonight. I want to see
yeah.
the nurses.
This is a great night. I mean,
Yeah.
root beer floats for $1. How can you go wrong? Plus great music.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. And then we're done by 7:30,
Right.
and then you can go home in the light.
Right.
You don't even have, you know what I mean? And it's so much fun there. There's so much dancing room at the Paris Hill Barn, and the people there are
exactly
the
where that
sweetest
is.
people. Yeah. Oh, they're just and all the prophets are going to go to the church. Screaming Nurses. We just said, give it to the church.
Give it to the church. Well, Donna Ray, thank you so much for calling in. Jeffrey, thank you so much for letting me actually interview someone. And Donna Ray,
it's fun.
Text Tricia.
Yeah,
I'll see you tonight.
You guys are all great.
No,
And
I'm
I
great.
wish we could all go, but hopefully we'll see you tonight, Steve.
All
Over 5:30, the potluck starts.
Can't wait.
Always good food. Screaming Nurse is bringing a big sandwich platter.
All right, sounds good.
Oh,
Take care,
yeah.
Donna Ray.
All right, take care, guys. Thank you. Keep rocking.
All right. That is
Donna Ray.
Donna Ray and the Screaming Nurses, and they have a couple of events, one tonight and one Sunday.
So I have one problem.
Go ahead.
I don't cook. What's a potluck?
You bring a dish.
So I don't Can I just bring a plate? Or it has to have food on it?
It's got to have food on it. Yeah.
Oh.
It can be a dip. You don't necessarily have to make it.
I can go to Frank's, right? And just get pizza or something.
Speaking of dips, co-hosting this morning with us is Steve Cully. We want to say thank you to Tim Reed, who hit the road here this morning. Tim usually joins us on Thursday. I think he had enough of you. It is 8:50. A quick timeout. We'll come back to wrap things up here on WIBX.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Ugh, honey, what is this?
Well, you said you wanted a cocktail, but all of our bottles were pretty low. So I just mixed them all together with ice in the shaker and voila. I call it the Desperado. What do you think?
Well, you nailed the name.
Uh-huh.
It tastes like desperation in a glass.
No good?
Oh, honey, we need Breamers. Fast.
I really don't want to run out right now.
You don't have to. Anyone can get Breamers delivered right away with DoorDash or Instacart.
Even just one bottle?
Yep, but we live close enough and we want to stock up, so we can order direct at BremersWineandLiquor.com. Ooh, we can get free delivery with our first order on their mobile app.
So many delivery options. Talk about convenience, huh?
Bremer's Wine and Liquor, Commercial Drive, New Hartford. Delivering the biggest selection, the lowest prices, and the ultimate in convenience.
Okay, try this.
Now that's more like it. What do you call this one?
The Bremer's Breeze, because delivery from Bremer's makes it
a breeze.
Yeah.
Nailed the name again.
It's America's birthday, and we're celebrating all month long. Hi, it's Phoebe from the Good Feet store. This July, celebrate freedom from foot, knee, hip, and back pain with custom fit arch supports that are proudly made in the USA. Whether you're grilling, golfing, or chasing the grandkids, you deserve comfort this summer. Because no birthday celebration's complete without presents, get a free gift on us when you stop into the Good Feet store all month long. Feeling your best is something worth celebrating. Visit us today in New Hartford on Commercial Drive.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
There's new momentum in Congress to keep AM radio in every car and truck sold in America. But lawmakers need to keep hearing from listeners like you. AM radio is vital for public safety in local communities. Text AM to 39179 now. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is 8:54. First News Keeler in the morning. Joining us from the nation's capital is John Decker. I believe he's in the nation's capital. Good morning, John. How are you?
I am in the nation's capital. That's where I need to be to cover the White House every day. Great to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Yeah, a couple of things in the news. First of all, I think we spent over $1 billion. The House voting to, well, we haven't spent it yet, but the House voting for the defense authorization bill, I believe, which was over $1 billion. I also want to talk to you about the insider trading ban, which I think has been linked with the Election Save America Act, the Voter ID Act. I'll let you fill us in, though.
Well, the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, must be passed every year, and typically it's passed in a bipartisan fashion. And in fact, 6 House Democrats voted with almost every Republican to pass that bill yesterday. The final vote was 216 to 212. The Democrats who voted against it largely cited their opposition to the war in Iran as the reason for opposing that legislation. Now, the bill goes over to the Senate, and we'll see what happens over on the Senate side of the Capitol. Again, typically what we see is bipartisanship as it relates to the NDAA.
And then there were some Democrats who voted for this, but I saw AOC's comment on the insider trading ban. Explain what this is.
Well, it's just that. There are members of Congress who have taken advantage of their position to get sometimes insider information, insider information related to the authorization process. Maybe they're familiar with a defense contractor who's going to benefit because of items that are being appropriated in the House or in the Senate. And let's not forget that there are members of Congress including, you remember Alphonse D'Amato, the former senator from New York. When he was in the Senate, he did something perfectly legal. This is perfectly legal, but you could argue it's unethical. And that is, he took advantage of getting in on the ground floor with IPOs. He was given special permission to purchase stock, which he knew, and the brokerage, which was putting forward the IPA, knew was going to shoot up 20-25% on the very first day of trading. That, too, is something that would be banned under this legislation.
So included in this legislation, at least according to AOC, is what she's calling a GOP sabotage of national mail-in voting. Talk about that part of the bill, if you could.
I don't know what she's referring to when she says that. So remember, she has her base. Her base is very much left of center. And as you know, Democrats as a whole are very much opposed to the Save America Act, which the president has been pushing. There are, of course, some Republicans that are against that as well. That's the reason why it hasn't passed the Senate. And there's no movement, by the way, from those Senate Republicans, many of whom this is their last term in the Senate. And so there's very little leverage that the president has over those Republican members of the Senate who are opposed to that legislation.
All right. Great job as always. Thank you for bringing some clarity, I guess, to these issues. And AOC, I don't know. I love that you say you're not sure what she's referring to. In politics, you don't have to be honest or truthful. We just talked about legality versus ethical. You don't have to be truthful. You just have to stir up the other side and make them be angry at the opponent.
I'm moving. Yeah.
John Decker from Fox News Radio. I'm sorry, from Gray TV. I apologize, John. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
That is John from Gray TV, the White House correspondent, the only attorney in the White House press corps. Any closing thoughts here? Smitty's given me the hand gesture.
Yes. Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy, he had his hearing to dismiss the charges for witness intimidation on Monday. I was furious and disgusted with how he was treated by the judge. They didn't listen to his arguments, and he's going to end up going to trial. Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney, Hulk Hogan, my heroes, and Turtle Boy didn't do anything to intimidate witnesses. No witnesses were in fear for their lives, fear of physical harm, and he is going to be exonerated, and I am going to support him all the way, just as I would you, Jeffrey.
Oh, well, thank you, Cully. I appreciate that. It's been an interesting show. We appreciate the feedback and the comments. Lance gave a comment I didn't get to this
Was it
morning.
about me?
No, we're out of time, though. It is First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX.